Hey guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. Okay, it is Motivation Monday. That's what I'm gonna rename Mondays to be. We will still have Answer Monday, but the episode of the day will be called Motivation Monday. There's plenty to be motivated about. Also, I noticed that this is something that needs to be worked on with some of my viewers. And we all need to hear this from time to time. We all need to hear that we can do this. We've got this. Everybody needs to hear it, okay? Because everybody goes through that self-doubt and that anxiety and that worry and all of that. I mean, we all go through it. So I'm here to do Motivation Monday, okay? So let's get motivated. Now, I have an Uncle Kyle, okay? Now, Uncle Kyle is not technically an uncle, but he's been around the family for a long time. I've known Uncle Kyle since I was 16 years old. And so he's literally seen me grow up, okay? And he, for the better part of my life, has always been this goofy, fun, very caring and loving man. He is one of the most caring and loving men, if not one of the most, that I know. I love my Uncle Kyle so much. He has really been such a rock for me in the last few years. He is literally one of the ones that I consider my true family. So, but I wanted to start out with Motivation Monday by one of his favorite sayings that he always tells me, which is, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. Now, why do I bring this up? Okay. This could not be further from the truth because people are not mind readers, okay? They cannot anticipate your feelings or your experiences. If you have not met with your providers or if you're not communicating with your coworkers, I hope this message today will motivate you to do so, okay? How do we overcome shyness and social anxiety in the workplace? I know this is a big issue for some people, and for some coders, it's hard enough to be a coder and it's hard enough to know all of this stuff, but then you got to add on having to deal with these alpha personalities as well. So it starts from the inside. It starts from number one, yourself, okay? You've got to work on yourself. If you are not communicating with your providers like you should, you've got to work on you. And the more that you work on yourself, the better you are going to be able to serve your providers and make sure that they get credit for everything. Now, we've talked about why it's so important for providers to get credit for all the work that they do. Ultimately, it will impact you if you're not careful, okay? If coders are not picking up the appropriate codes, if they are just simply just picking up whatever the provider is selecting, maybe the provider selected a diagnosis in a procedure code and they just pick it up willy-nilly without reviewing the documentation to verify that everything is there, because I know there's some coders that do that. So if they're doing that, there's a potential for so much lost revenue, okay? This is why getting used to looking at the documentation and not ignoring the provider selected codes, but really just not depending on that to help you code the record, okay? You've got to be able to code it yourself as well. I don't want to go all too far off because I have points to make. So let me get on with it. All right. Number one is practice confidence, even when you don't feel confident. When you can learn to rein in that shaky voice or those sweaty palms. Now, I am guilty of the sweaty palms. Trust me, I hate it. Sometimes when I get like that flush of nervousness, like my hands, they start to sweat, and I'm thinking, oh crap, you know what I mean? Like, can I just get it together? And then all of a sudden, I will start to relax, and I notice the sweaty palms will go away. But yes, I suffer from it too. This feeling is incredible once you do get a rein on it. But you have to put yourself in those situations so they can become familiar, like the situations that make you feel nervous. You have to put yourself there so it's not always so overwhelming all the time. Similar to immersion therapy, if you've ever heard of immersion therapy, what they do is they give the patient repeated exposure to whatever it is that causes them that shyness and that anxiety, that fear. so that they can learn their reactions to it, and they can learn how to best cope and deal with it so that it's not so overwhelming. So it's sort of like that, but it's just on a smaller scale. Okay. The number two is to talk and say hello. The more you engage with your coworkers and providers and those around you, the better. It gives you lots of practice with public speaking as well. Now, we never have problems talking with our friends, right? Like, you can laugh and joke and cut up with your friends, but all of a sudden, if you get in front of a big audience or just a few people, then all of a sudden you start to feel that nervousness. Strangers are just like your friends, only you just don't know them, you know? So they're people too, and 9 times out of 10, they have anxiety problems as well when they get up in front of people. So it's not always something that, like, everybody doesn't have this cut and dry, oh, I'm so happy in front of a crowd. Everybody gets nervous. So just think of it like that. Think of it like they go through this too. And when you start to think of it like that, it's not so overwhelming when you start talking to people, okay? I know sometimes, like, during the day, like in the morning, some people don't say good morning, and to me, it's not a big deal, because not everybody's a morning person. I'm at work at 6 o'clock in the morning. Trust me, there are some mornings when I just want to nod and say hello, and that's it. But there's people that just come in, oh, good morning, you know, and so it gets to be a lot sometimes. So really gauge the people that you're around, but just acknowledge them. That's the most important thing, is to acknowledge people, because people like to be acknowledged, okay? And it also does help to open those lines of communication. All right. The next one, number 3, is feel the fear and do it anyway. Yes, I know we've heard it, and that's a cliche thing to say, but really, feel the fear and do it anyway. Yes, there's going to be times when the thought of doing something will scare the bejesus out of you. But the more that you step faithfully into a new task, the easier the tasks will get. It's okay to be nervous. It's okay to fail, but you have to get right back up on that horse and keep going. You could be missing out on a wonderful experience simply by letting that fear take over. Use caution and common sense when you are trying new things, of course. Don't do anything irrational, okay? I'm just talking like these basic things. Some people have just a hard time trying to decide where they want to go in life, what they want to do. For the past few days, I've been getting lots of emails from people that want to start a new career, but they're afraid. And that's the thing. You when it comes to starting a new career, if it's something that you think that you want to do, what is stopping you other than the fact that, oh, well, I still have to work and I still have to do this? I still worked when I was in school, and I was hot-tailing it through that school. The school was supposed to take me 9 months. I got through in 6 months, and I still worked. So that was motivation for me. And there was a lot of stuff going on in my personal life. I mean, it wasn't that I was just only by myself and I just had myself to take care of. There was a lot going on that I don't talk about on my channel, because y'all don't need to know all of that. But at the same time, if that's what's stopping you, you have downtime to do studying. You have downtime to get into something else different. If that's what you want to do in life, if you want to change the trajectory of your life, then that's what you got to do. You got to make time for it, because it's not going to make time for you. You got to make time for it, okay? But when you do start to go through these things, it's a challenge. And yes, you have to step faithfully. Did I think when I moved away from home that it was going to be for my second job? If you've been following my channel, if you haven't, I got my first job in my hometown. Then when that assignment ended, I had to move away. I moved 8 hours away from my hometown. And that I literally moved there with knowing nobody. Literally nobody. I had a job, but I knew no one. So I had no social support, no nothing, you know. And it was very difficult. But I stepped faithfully into that second phase in my life, because I had to. Did I want to? Did I want to leave home? No, because my mom was sick. I did not want to leave home. But I still left home anyway because my mom says, you're not going to get any experience here. And she was right. You know, so I had to take that faithful step into growing. And I did. You know, and then thankfully I did, because the experience that I had there, literally with the clinics and everything that I was doing, was what got me hired here. So had I not done that, I would not be here. That's the thing. Sometimes you just have to have faith. Okay? You have to have faith that everything's going to be all right. Okay? And don't overthink things. Overthinking is such the worst thing ever. When you start overthinking things like, what if, it can cloud your whole plans. Don't overthink. If you want to do it, do it. All right? The next one is body language. Display confident body language. Walk with your head held high. Make eye contact. Firm handshakes. Oh, gosh. I had a dead fish handshake the other day. I tried not to go into my whole spiel about dead fish handshakes. So, anyway, firm handshakes. Practice subtle mirroring. Mirroring is when you are talking with somebody and then you start to copy the things that they do, the movements that they make, and their stance. You know, you start to copy what they do, because when you are mirroring somebody subtly, they start to open up, okay? And once they start opening up, that will help bring down those walls of shyness and social anxiety, okay? So just something to keep in mind. There's also body language books. Secret weapon, I'm telling you guys. Let's see, where am I? Everyone has their moments of shyness and social anxiety, okay? But you doing this will help you to be that engaging person and that more welcoming person, and that's what you want, okay? The next one is be present in your conversations. Look at the person, watch their body language. Do they seem distressed, engaged, or tense? Recognizing the details in people will help you with your communication with that person, but you have to be paying attention to what's going on. If this person looks bored, you need to change your approach. If this person looks like they're getting upset, then you need to either reframe how you are explaining something or maybe change your tone, because that has a lot to do with it too. Sometimes, you know, people, especially providers that are very alpha and they're very smart and intelligent, they have to be handled very differently, because there's a lot and they deal with a lot and they're very intelligent, and you just have to watch and pay attention to the details, because that will help you with your communication with them, and that will help you to overcome that shyness and that social anxiety, so you can start to open up to them as well, and they can feel comfortable to open up to you. But you have to be available. You have to show them that you are available and that you want to engage and partner with them. All right, and the next one, number 6. Not everyone will like you or appreciate what makes you sparkle. And that's okay. You don't have to like everyone either. The key is to be consistent with respect and your response, and don't allow those people to clam you up. Now, yes, there are people that are not going to like you. There are going to be providers and coworkers that don't like you. There are providers and coworkers, believe it or not, that don't like me. And I'm pretty sure some people out there that are watching me don't like me either. And that's okay. It's okay. It's okay not to like me. I'm fine with it, okay? All I know is the reason that I continue to do these videos and pump them out the way that I have been is because of the people that I know that need some guidance and some help. That's why I'm here, to do that, because I remember a time when I didn't have that. So I want to make sure that I give that out because I didn't have it. And I'm not one of those ones that says, well, nobody trained me, so I'm not going to train anybody else. That's ridiculous. And every time I hear it, it makes me so mad. But there's some people that say that. That's what you think, then that's fine. Personally, I don't think it's right. But To me, everybody needs a hand, especially when it comes to medical coding. There is so much to learn. And if we can just help each other, it could all be much better, okay? Then we wouldn't hear about these horror stories about people getting charged for so much and things like that. Think about it, right? So, next one, moving on. Number 7 is be real and say exactly what you mean. No games. People notice when anxious people start beating around the bush and can make the anxiety even worse because they'll start to point it out to you, okay? Just think your words out and be straightforward and respectful. You don't have to come up with all this flowery stuff, okay? Especially when you feel that those nerves and that shyness. Be direct and be to the point in your answers. You can be blunt, you can be straightforward, and you can also be respectful at the same time. It is possible, okay? Trust me, I do it a lot. There's times when I've been told that I'm very blunt and I'm very straightforward. I have to be, because I feel like, especially in the beginning when you're getting into medical coding or you're considering getting into medical coding, that because I have no, like I said, I have no dog in this fight, I don't have to sell it to you. I want you to know everything that's involved in it, okay? That's why I'm here as well, because so many people get into this not knowing what it actually is, and then they're mad later on about it. Don't get mad. This is why I'm trying to explain as much of it as I can. And being very good with communication is really huge in this, okay? Especially in the beginning when you feel very unsure and not knowing what to do. Communication is very key, because you have to be able to express that, and you have to be able to say, I don't understand this. Can you help me? I've looked at it this way and it's still not making sense. And so sometimes those coder-provider relationships start to develop that way as well. And that helps with the shyness, and it helps you to overcome that anxiety, okay? And then the next one is number 8. Anxiety begets anxiety. If you know you're going to get anxious, embrace it and move on. Don't keep reminding yourself that you're anxious and shy, because that will continue to make you anxious and shy. Practice positive self-talk. You got this. If you hear anything that I'm telling you in this video, you got this. Whatever you decide to do, you got this. You are stronger, tougher, and smarter than you give yourself credit for, believe it or not. And it's not conceited for you to tell yourself about the power that you hold. It is a necessity, because we all need to hear this occasionally from time to time, that we do have the power to do positive things and to change in positive ways, okay? Just something that you've got to tell yourself. I've heard a lot from people that they're just not sure that they're even going to get it. But you know what? You've gotten into the program and you're walking with faith, because literally you don't know, right? You don't know what the outcome is going to be of you going through a program. But you're there faithfully walking the path. So continue to do that. It's very brave to do that. It's brave to start a new program or to go back to school, especially as an adult. It is such a huge thing. And it's more braver than you give yourself credit for. It is incredibly brave. Okay? So when you start to have those anxiety feelings and that shyness, think back on your journey. Think back and celebrate those moments. You know what? That was pretty brave that I did that. Or that was pretty brave that I'm here now. I passed all these tests and I'm moving forward with my life. Okay? And the last one is stay away from negative people. Negative people are not going to change. The only one that can change is you. You can only change yourself. So don't surround yourself with negative people. I refuse to be around negative people. When I started getting some ugly comments on my channel, guess what? Blocked. Why? It's not that I don't want to hear people's feedback. I can take feedback. But when you start getting ugly with me for nothing, okay, bye-bye. I don't need to deal with you. Why? Why do I need to deal with you? You're attacking somebody that's coming on here to do a good thing. Okay, so why do I need to have that person heckling? No. Bye. Okay? I don't deal with it. Same way I don't deal with it at work. When some of these women come around and start making their faces and, no. Bye-bye. Have a nice day, ladies. I smile and turn around and walk away. I don't need to be there. I don't have to prove nothing. I don't have to prove nothing to nobody. That's how I look at it. Because why? Again, it goes back to the reason that I'm there. The reason that I'm there, my motivator, is my providers and the other coders that reach out for help. That's why I'm there. Same reason why I'm here. To help the people that want to be helped, that want to get into the medical coding field. That's my motivation. You all are my motivation. So I'm going to keep on doing it. Okay? So you have to remind yourself in those moments when you feel like, can I do this? I'm so anxious. Yes, you can. Okay? And remember what I said. If you feel it coming on, embrace it. You know it's coming, but don't keep reminding yourself. Instead, remind yourself that you got this. Okay? So hopefully these little tips will help you to overcome some of those shy feelings and make you sort of step out of your comfort zone. Okay? It's okay to step out of your comfort zone, but responsibly. Okay? Don't go doing anything crazy. Okay? Just stepping out of your comfort zone, meaning talking to your providers, talking to your coworkers and things like that. Just basic things. Okay? Because the more you get people to relax around you, the more they'll open up. You would be amazed at what good communication can do. Okay? So, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. I will be back for Q&A Tuesday tomorrow, so get ready. I got a whole list, so I'm very excited. All right, so I will go ahead and wrap this one up. But if you are a medical coder, a medical coding student, somebody curious about the fascinating world of medical coding, a provider or a nurse, I invite you to like and subscribe and follow me on my journey in medical coding. Okay, I will see y'all on the next video. Bye!